it is accepted that the first letters or the whole of the following group of words can be placed in the picture of the Great Arcanum. 1. Alpha Omega, Alf Than, Az, Azoth. 2. Tarot or Rota. 3. Inri. 1. The first group of letters is composed of the initials of the three alphabets: Greek, Alpha, Hebrew, Alf, and Latin, A, which differ little in their writing, and of the three final letters, Greek Omega, Hebrew Than, and Latin Z. This symbolizes the cosmic synthesis and is the sign for the schools of alchemy. 2. The second group of words used to be a symbol for the Eastern initiation and tradition, although one can hardly see a reason for it, but it must be given here, as it has been a part of the Great Arcanum since time immemorial. These words should be developed into Tarot, Rota, Torah, Otar, Arot, and in some magical operations, which have a peculiar form of the passage from the physical base of operation to the astral vortex, Turbalon, they are inscribed into the 5 ends of the pentagram, facing the eyes of the magician. 3. On the mental plane, we read Inri as the Latin inscription on Christ's cross. On the astral plane, it will be Igni Natura Renoventar Integra. This means all nature is regenerated by fire. Of course, fire here has an esoteric meaning, as was explained at the beginning of this arcanum. The true Rosicrucians, who about 200 years ago ceased to exist as an active and initiatory organization, had Inri as their motto. The 3 formulas just given are used to represent the scheme of the Great Arcanum in which we already saw Yod-He-Vod-He, which serves as the Kabbalistic key to the Arcanum. And they show the unique aim, unique aspiration, unique desire, and unique realization sought equally by Kabbalists, Yod-He-Vod-He, alchemists, Azoth, the Egyptian tradition contained in the Tarot, and finally, by the teachings of Christian Illuminism and esotericism, Inri. All these ways lead to the Great Arcanum. But what of the Eastern tradition, based on ancient Indian initiatory occult philosophy? Has it no part in the perennial search by man for his eternal home, that forgotten and lost spiritual fatherland to which leads the Great Arcanum of the Hermetic tradition? Of course it has. For those who are acquainted with the depths of the Advaita Vedanta, there cannot be any doubt about it. For those who have no connection with this peak of the ancient Aryan Vedantic initiation, I would like to say that the great idea of Vedanta, the realization of man's true being or ultimate self, is just the Great Arcanum, to which the exposition of the 4th trump of the tarot was partially dedicated. There is a considerable difference between the 2 methods, which by no means makes them any the less valuable. 1. The thing is that each human race, as has already been said, possesses its own form of symbolism and teachings. The West created the complicated, although very successful and practical, Hermetic philosophy, which you are now studying in this book as the Tarot. In it, you find a lot of symbols, signs, secret formulas, and the still more mysterious depths of the ways leading to the conquest of the 3 worlds. I hope that by now the reader has already arrived at this conception for himself when thinking about the aims of Hermetism. 2. It is different in Vedanta. Its peaks are for those who have already been initiated into the mysteries and knowledge of them, of the 2 higher planes of existence, the astral and mental ones. Advantia seems to leave the lower, preparatory degree to yogas and other methods, which are often of a purely religious character. Therefore, The true masters of the Hindu tradition do not use the means given in 1. The simplicity of their teachings can be compared only to the ultimate simplicity of the unique and real thing, the sole aim of the great Arcanum. You may call it as you wish: God, cosmic mind, spirit, pleroma, supreme self. It will always be the same, simply because there is not and cannot be anything else. This statement is based on a higher power than mind, intuition, and therefore it cannot be realized by those who have not yet touched the higher consciousness of the plane of intuition, or spirit, Atman, self. But the ultimate aim of both traditions is the same, and never was or will be different. Some men must pass through one or another form of initiation, for each man reflects differently, according to the Tarot as to the Vedanta, the same unique light of the consciousness of the whole, of the archetype, of God, of Par Abraham. The last initiating master of Vedanta, the great Rishi, in Hindu terminology, was Sri Ramana Maharshi of South India, who died in 1950, leaving to posterity his modern exposition of the old truth, already known throughout the whole world. The writer had the privilege to sit at the feet of this last messenger of truth. It now remains for us to perform the numerical part of the initiation as given in the 4th Arcanum of the Tarot. Equation number 6. 4 equals 3 plus 1. A new cycle of creation or manifestation, 4, appears when a new impulse, 1, is added to the already existing first family, 3. Equation number 7. 4 equals 1 plus 3. When a new and active impulse, 1, associates itself with the chosen accomplished form, 3, the result will be a new phase of creation. As you may see, there is no essential difference between the ideas which come from the reversed equation. Therefore, I will not give any further explanations of both. The student should investigate the other forms for himself. Equation number 8. 4 equals 2 plus 2. Second, active He, 4, is balanced in itself as two elements, one active and the other passive, to create the perfect equality of plus and minus, thus allowing things to remain as they are. It is the stable form of creation, thought, forms, and worlds. Matter and energy are manifested equally in the solar system and in the whole universe, blending into one another, and creating the seeming differences between them, but, for the initiate, always remaining the same unity. When, to an apparently constant system in the great space, there is added some new and active impulse, Yod, stars and planets may collide, and the destruction may then be observed in the infinites of the universe, but, of course, only for a time. When some of our body cells escape the central control normally exercised in a certain way by the astrosome, this may create a serious danger for the whole of the body in the form of malignant growths, and so on. As the numbers of the arcana grow, the number of the possible equations will also increase. We will give here only the most essential ones, leaving the student to perform the necessary training himself, by analyzing the further development and possibilities connected with the numerical evaluation of the major arcana. It will supply him with the necessary mental exercise, and thereby development, which is a condition for the successful study of this book.